audible and visible to all of you? Good morning, Madhubala. And if I'm audible and visible, you can post it in the comment section that I'm audible and visible. So today we'll do Hindu analysis of 6 September 2025. And today we'll do, you will see, like today, the editorials were such that we are doing multiple editorial today. How many editorial? I will tell you in just few moments from now. Just give me a second. And let's start the discussion today. So yesterday, we did 14 questions. That was a record. My name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also join my Telegram family, Fun Study with Shubh. And yeah, but again, this Telegram channel is not yet, like currently it's not very active. So yesterday I gave these two questions, the Nathula Pass and good morning, GY. The Nathula Pass, a border trade point between India and China, connects which two places? Like, what is the answer of this? Many of you answered it yesterday, but what was the answer? Like, again, this was a homework more than the classwork. So what is the answer of this particular question? Nathula Pass. It connects what? And we have talked about Nathula, we have talked about Lipu Lake, and these are in news. So when you are preparing for any exam, let's say even for EPF or mainly for UPSC CSE, you have to remember these passes, Nathula, Lipu Lake, etc. So yes, sir. What is the answer of MCQ 13? Anyone? The answer is, and let's be fast. If you are fast, I'll be able to do a. Sarvesh has given the answer. Sikkim with Tibet's Chumbi Valley. Very good here. Then we have done, this was the homework for you people yesterday, MCQ 4. Good morning, Gupta. Why is Strait of Malacca and strategically important? It is one of the busiest shipping lane. We have solved multiple MCQs and PYQs yesterday on Strait of Malacca. Multiple MCQs as well as PYQs. So you can have a look at yesterday's Hindu analysis as well. So why is Strait of Malacca strategically important? Good morning, Sarvesh. Yesterday, MCQ 4. Okay, so I'm good. So where in Uttar Pradesh, UP, like Sarvesh, which particular place? What is the answer of this particular question? 14th. Very good, Yukta. Why Strait of Malacca strategically important? We have to do option elimination here. If you're doing option elimination, you can connect. It does not connect, like you can get the answer. It does not connect Red Sea with Arabian Sea, right? So fourth is wrong. If fourth is wrong, you can eliminate C and D option and you're left with A and B option. Now you have to just check the third. Yes, it lies, means close to India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands. It connects Andaman Sea with South China Sea rather. Cool, sir. So now MCQ 13, B is the answer. MCQ 14, A is the answer. So Madhubala and Sharvesh, they have given the answer. Let's come back to the present. Let's talk about this particular article, page number 8, editorial. So here again, there are certain terms which we have to understand from exam perspective. What is the basic meaning of these particular terms? Like there's one term, Environment Audit Rules 2025. What do these environment audit rules mean? What is the basic meaning here? Then there will be something known as CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board. State or SPCB, State Pollution Control Board, created under which particular act? Are they statutory bodies or executive body? Kanpur. Okay, Sharvesh. So there are so many things which we have to understand. Environmental compliance needs to be monitored at all levels. So what is the basic, what this editorial is talking about? They are talking about scarcity of resources. When it comes to scarcity of resources, when it and manpower, when it comes to Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board. So, and again, so what needs to be done if there is scarcity of resources? Good morning, Shiparna. What needs to be done? Private players needs to be involved when it comes to environmental compliance, and that's where this particular environmental or environment audit rules 2025 comes into picture. Important from both pre and mains perspective. We anyway know how much UPSC love to ask questions from environment in UPSC pre. So what is happening in this environment audit rules 2025? See, auditing will not be only confined to officials of SPCBs or CPCBs. We'll talk about these guys. Good morning, Rajneesh. So they will, like, more people will be involved here. So what is the basic thing? Again, you can have a look at this to strengthen compliance, monitoring, blah, blah, blah. What is the basic problem here? All these compliance monitoring, whether industries are following environmental standards or not, they are overseen by CPCB and then SPCBs, etc. But they have constraint. They don't have proper resources, and that's why via this Environment Audit Rule 2025, private players are brought into picture. private agencies can now be accredited as environmental auditors, because we have to do these audits. If CPCB, SPCB, they don't have proper or requisite number of personals, we can, that has to be taken care of. But in the meantime, somebody has to do the audit, and in that regard, private agencies will do these audits. So that's where this whole article is. That's what this whole article is talking about. Now there is another word, green credit rules. What is green credit, or what is the basic meaning of this term green credit rules? So here also there are different organizations. So let's say you did some afforestation work. Let's say you did means cleaning of some wetland. So these are all green credit work. So now requisite authority will verify it, like maybe CPCB, these auditors, they will verify it, that whether you have done the afforestation or wetland cleaning, etc., or not, and then you'll be given green credits. So let's say you have got 100 credits. Now different industries, they have to do certain stuff, CSR, corporate social responsibility, they have some environmental obligations, so they can buy these credits from you. So this is green credit rule. Again, hope you're understanding some part of it, what is the basic meaning involved here in green credit rules. Organizations, companies will be doing afforestation, cleaning of wetland, etc. Authorities will be verifying them, thereby giving them credits. Now these credits can be bought by some other organizations if they were not able to do these afforestations, wetland under, let's say, CSR, corporate social responsibility, or other mechanisms. So that is the basic meaning of green credit rules. Cool. Again, you can have a look at this. Pollution control boards lacks the expertise. So if you understood the basic gist behind this editorial, they are basically talking about that we need to move beyond CPCB and SPCB if they don't have proper and requisite number of manpower, and we can give private auditors the power to audit these organizations. And that's what this editorial is talking about. In the meantime, there has to be a bridge between manpower and infrastructure gaps. CPCB and SPCB has to be properly, they have to be strengthened when it comes to resources, when it comes to manpower. But yes, private auditors will do for now. So now, what are the things which are important? CPCB, is it a statutory body? Statutory means created by an act. Yes, it has been created by Water Act 1974. In different exams, they have already given you, they will give you WPA, Wildlife Protection Act, Environmental Protection Act, Water Act, Air Act, and they will tell you to arrange them in chronological order. In that regard, this particular article becomes important. So CPCB created under Water Act, Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. So they gives the, they CPCB, what is their work? They give the guidelines. SPCB implements them. And SPCB also implemented under, or created under rather, Water Act and then Air Act as well. Which act came first? Water Act came before Air Act. Even before Water Act, you have Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. And after Air Act, you have Environmental Protection Act 1986. So you have to remember the chronology part as well, because these kind of questions have been asked by different exams. So hope you understood. Auditing not only validates financial accuracy, but also plays a critical role in risk identification, mitigation, and management, etc. Even before Water Act. Cool, Sarvesh. So hope you are understanding where this editorial or where this article is going. Cool. So now let's solve some questions. So is it, the CPCB, SPCB, they are statutory bodies. Just like you have NGT, National Green Tribunal, which has also been established by NGT Act 2010. Do remember, these CPCB, SPCBs, they are also statutory bodies, and that thing we have to keep in mind. Cool. Now let's solve some questions. This is MCQ 1. And again, if you face any issues in voice or anything, do tell me in the comment section. But I think voice is fine. Yeah, I can hear myself. So the primary aim of introducing Environment Audit Rule 2025 is what? And yes, everyone, Sharvesh, Rajneesh, Shipurna, Yukta, Madhubala, Jeevayana. So I'm thinking of, doing Hindu analysis Monday onwards at 7:30 a.m. What is your view on this? Because I think if I can do Hindu analysis at 7:30 a.m., the sooner the better, I personally feel. Sooner you're done with Hindu analysis, the better it is for you people. And for me also, I can do some other work. So I feel like, and from Monday, we will be meeting at 7:30 a.m. So Madhubala, Shriparna, Sharvesh, Rajneesh, what is your view on this? Will you people be awake by 7:30 a.m.? Do you think this is good, or we should continue at 8 a.m.? So the primary aim of introducing Environment Audit Rule 2025 is to strengthen monitoring and compliance mechanism by addressing manpower and infrastructure deficit, as stated by Madhubala, Shiparna, Sharvesh, and Rajneesh. PYQ2 asked by UPSC in 2018. So this is a previous year question asked by UPSC. Do option elimination. We have just discussed things. Okay, Shipurna. When do you wake up, Shipurna? So how is National Green Tribunal different from CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board? This is the question they are asking here. And so NGT has been established by an act. National Green Tribunal, we have just discussed, it has been established by an NGT Act 2010. CPCB created by an executive order. No, it's created by an act. We have just seen the act. Water Act 1974. If you go back, what we have just discussed, what is this? That CPCB created under Water Act. So it is a statutory body. It's not an executive body like, let's say, the Planning Commission or Niti Aayog. So its first statement is wrong. First is wrong because of the second part. So your one only is gone, your both is gone, you're left with B and 8 o'clock, sir. Shiparna is saying 8 o'clock. Madhubala is saying you are the one who wakes up so early, we can't be choosy. Okay, I feel like sooner we do it, so better it is. Okay, so NGT now, first statement is wrong, you're left with B and D, 50% probability. Whenever you have 50% probability, do go for those questions. So NGT provides environmental justice and helps reduce the burden of litigation in the higher court. CPCB promotes cleanliness. So this is a general statement, right? There's nothing wrong here. National Green Tribunal, what is their work? They will look into the cases related to environment. CPCB, they are promoting cleanliness, improve the quality of air, water, everything. So the answer is B2 only, as survey stated and Rajni stated. So again, a tricky question, a tough question, but option elimination will help you in removing first statement. Let's move on to the next article of the day. This is the second editorial which we are discussing today. Again on page number 8. First editorial, environment. Second editorial, written by Shashi Tharoor. Here he is talking about strategic autonomy. India is sandwiched between so many countries. China is saying something, Russia is saying something, USA is saying something, and in that regard, there are different terms which we have to understand. What is I2U2? What is IMEC? G20. How many countries are there? And then there are some other terms which you have to understand. Then Russia's policy. What is current Russia policy? And we'll talk about these terms. So there are different terms which are important from exam perspective, which we have to keep in mind. So let's focus on this particular article. So here the talk is about strategic autonomy. But strategic autonomy is not isolation or neutrality, but we will, take part in different scenarios on case to case basis. It's not like we'll always be siding with US or Russia or China. It's about us. Like Nehru sir's non-aligned movement, NAM. We were not taking any side. We were neutral, and we will try to be not neutral, but yeah, hope you can understand. It's flexible, independent, and we will be engaging with different partners based on our agendas, our interests. So this is multi-alignment. So earlier it was non-alignment. Now Modi sir is talking about multi-alignment, and that's what Shashi Tharoor sir is also saying. 7:30 will be fine, sir. Rajnish. Okay. So Rishi, from Monday we are meeting at 7:30 a.m. I want to go to 7 a.m., but I'm not ready yet for 7 a.m. I feel like I need at least 2.5 hours to prepare proper content. So 7:30 a.m. we'll meet from Monday. So again, global context, unipolar US movement has ended. Now here again, focus on the term U2, IMEC, G20. Then see the term Russia's revisionism. What is Russia's revisionism? Revisionism rather. Oh my God, Russia's revisionism or revisionist powers. Revisionism means there are some people, some countries who try to maintain status quo, but then there are some countries who changes the status quo of the political world. So revisionism, Russia is that power which changes the status quo, and that's why they are a revisionist. They keep on revising the world order. So yeah, so this creates a fluid environment. Again, you can see here China is rising, Russia is following the revisionist principle. Western countries are not united. Because of that, India has to follow their own principles according to Shashi Tharoor and this editorial, and we have to protect our own core interests. Now, but here he has talked about India, Russia, India, US, India, China separately. And see here, India, US relationship, we have defense cooperation, blah, blah, blah. Quad, we have talked about Quad and the mnemonic associated with Quad, JUS, you know, Japan, Australia, India, and USA. Then what is I2U2? How many countries are there in I2U2? So two countries I, two countries U, four countries: Israel, India, UAE, then you have USA. So that is I2U2. Now, I2U2 formalized in 21-22. This is not a military alliance. Israel, India, UAE, USA, they will be focusing on infrastructure, food security, etc., etc. They are saying it on paper that it's not a military alliance. Whether it is a military alliance or not, again, you can always debate on that. But yeah, so I2U2, these four countries are involved. Then IMEC, India, Middle East, European corridor. India, Middle East, European corridor. So it has two parts. One is the eastern corridor where India will be connected to Middle East, and then the northern corridor which will be connecting Europe to Middle East, right? And this is seen as a counter to China's Belt and Road Initiative. It will be countering IMEC. It means it was announced in G20 in 2023. So there are so many terms, there are so many words which are important here, which we have to keep in mind. Cool. So India's stance: engage deeply but retain independent positions. Hope you understood the basic difference between I2U2, IMEC, and all these. Plus, you also have to remember the G20 countries. All G20 countries. We'll have a look at that. So again, India, China, India-US relationship, defense interest we have, and then these Quad, etc. These groupings are there, and that's what Shashi Tharoor is talking about. But what are the problems? Tariff, sanctions, and US wants us to reduce our cooperation with Russia, so to say. Now let's focus on the other part, India-China relationship. Border clashes happened. Yesterday we talked about reasons, the clashes, why it happened. British Empire, the earlier Manchu dynasty in China. We did not solve our map issues. So yesterday we had a discussion on that, and we solved some questions as well. So you can have a look at that. So there is border clashes which is happening here. Askai Chin, Arunachal, Mac Mohan line. We have talked about it in yesterday's Hindu analysis. But even then, we import a lot from China. It's a top trading partner. We import APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients, raw materials for medicine from China, and we cannot ignore China. And we are engaging with them in BRICS, SCO, etc., etc., according to Shashi Tharoor sir. So they are also a very, very important player for us. And again, we cannot confront them. We cannot, lay in front of them capitulation. That means, okay, whatever China is saying is correct. We have to again keep a tab on China, and we have to deter their aggression according to Shashi Tharoor sir. So we are understanding how we are comparing and contrasting India, China, India, US, and India, Russia relationship. Russia, all-weather friend of India. But what has happened with Russia should not happen with us, according to Shashi Tharoor. Russia has been isolated. We should not be doing that. This isolation thing, when we are talking about strategic autonomy, India's strategic autonomy, it is not isolation. So historical ties, Cold War solidarity, they have been an all-weather friend. But even though Russia has been close to China, they have to balance their relationship. India is continuing oil purchase, and that's why these tariffs have been imposed on us. So again, hope you are understanding where we are going with this. Remember the keywords: I2U2, IMEC, now G20. 1999, G20 created, 19 countries plus European Union. Now even African Union has been invited. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on G20. So G20, a PYQ has been asked. One way by which you can eliminate options related to country is bigger countries, richer countries. They are part of G20, bigger countries. So that way we'll see that particular PYQ as well. So India's, again, you can see here, this 2023 G20 presidency. Again, you can have a look at this. India seeks to be non-West without being anti-West. So Shashi Tharoor sir is saying that we have to be following the strategic autonomy. As Modi sir is saying, we have to move from non-aligned movement to multi-alignment. We cannot be pressurized by different countries, and the key is how we are balancing India, China, India, Russia, and India, US relationship. Cool. So again, you can have a look at all the points which is written here. I'm not reading it. We have understood the basic gist and rationale. Strategic autonomy is a strategy, not a slogan. And we have to stand tall right now. This is a very, very precarious situation. So in group of 20, G20 is not exactly 20 country, 19 country plus European Union. 85% of GDP, two-thirds of world population, and they all are big countries: Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada. So let's say they give you South Korea. South Korea is there here. So again, a big from economic perspective. So again, you have to see the smaller countries, either from geographical perspective or economic perspective, you have to eliminate them, and you have to keep on looking at them. Like the more you look at these, countries, the G20 countries, you have to paste this particular image on the wall. Keep on looking at them. That's the only way of remembering them, and we have to remember because UPSC has asked PYQ on it. So let's solve some question now. MCQ 3 of the day. So consider the following statement regarding CPCB. This is a question from the previous article, first editorial which we have done. So consider the following statement. Oh my God. So CPCB and do option elimination. If you're doing option elimination, you will be able to solve this particular question. So Shripurna under Environmental Protection Act. It was established under Water Act, Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, 1974. So first statement is wrong. If first is wrong, just eliminate the option. You're getting the answer C2 and 3 only, as stated by Shripurna. Madhubala has also tried it. Rishi, Rajneesh, they also tried it. Are you people understanding why first statement is wrong and why Shripurna is correct? Her name is not Shripurna. She is Shripurna. Oh my God. PYQ 4. UPSC 2020. Let's solve this question. Oh my God. Am I perfect? Yeah, water protection. So am I cool? Everything is fine? I'm just checking the internet. Are you facing any buffering issue or something? Cool. So fourth question we are doing here, and all okay, sir. Cool, 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 cool. Do confirm other people as well. I think D. So we are talking about 4 country members of G20, and I have told you one particular thing. You have to have a look at that particular map again and again related to G20 countries. And so here, the bigger countries are part of G20. So Argentina is a part, Mexico is a part, South Africa and Turkey, they are part of G20. Cool. So the answer is A. Again, if you go back, this is not easy. This is not at all easy. This is a tough question. You have to have a look at these countries. It's not easy to remember these big countries. But if you see these countries, Australia, Canada, Malaysia, New Zealand, you have to find out. This is a homework for you people, that to try to find out of these, like B, 4 options, which is not a part of G20. Similarly, C, Brazil, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, which is not a part of G20, which country? And that way your homework will be done. You have to do a lot of work when it comes to this particular question. This is actually a tricky question. Cool, sir. Let's continue the discussion, what we were discussing. So the answer is A. And this is a tough question. None of you got it correct. So it's totally fine. Now, again, BCD, which means statement of which country is not part of G20. That is your homework that you have to find out. Now, MCQ 5 of the day. What is strategic autonomy? Shashi Tharoor has written an editorial. And we are trying to understand what he means by strategic autonomy. Okay. What is strategic autonomy? No issues, Madhubala. The only thing is we don't have to make mistake in exam. Shashiparna has given the answer. Strategic autonomy. Is it isolation? Shashi Tharoor is saying it is not isolation. Russia has been isolated. We don't have to go the same path. So if you eliminate one, you got the answer. 2 and 4. Sovereign decision making free from external pressure. USA cannot pressurize us by tariff and this and that. Complete neutrality. We cannot be neutral. As Modi sir is saying, we are moving from non-alignment to multi-alignment. So how come this is neutrality, bro? It's not neutrality. So the answer is 2 and 4, as stated by Shipurna, Madhubala, Rajneesh, and Gajanan. Very good. Let's move on. D is the answer. Again, if you people like this video, like it, share it, subscribe it. That is actually needed. You have to spread the word. You can buy these Hindu analysis PDF at 199 per month from me. That will help you in revision. That will help you in revising your current affairs for any exam, but especially for UPSC. You can also be a part of my mentorship program to know about my students who has cracked what, which student has cracked APSC and other exam. You can go to the post section of my channel. There you can see the post which I have shared earlier. I am not getting the time now to do these things. You can see the people, students who have cracked earlier. Unlike Hindu means analysis PDF, which is monthly, 199 per month. This is a one-time payment, 4999, applicable for as many years as you're preparing for UPSC, CSE, or any other PSCs. And Hindu analysis PDF is included here. So you will be provided PDF every day. You don't need to buy it separately. And you can make the payment on this number, 96503030, means 3257. The number is same for Hindu analysis PDF as well. Let's move on to the next article of the day. You can also donate. All these things will help you as well as will help me. So now the next article is, again, this is the third editorial of the day. Oh my God, you can see here, we are talking about the third editorial, fixing problems, unlocking India's growth potential. Harshvardhan Agarwal sir has written it. We have already talked 1,000 times about GST and GST Council and the reforms and how it will be revolutionary, this and that. So we are not going there. The purpose here is, let me, there is a time lag here. So again, what we have to understand, the terms related to, let's say, MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises. Earlier, there was definition based on investment. Now, investment and turnover based on that, micro, small, and medium enterprises are defined. Then there are other terms also, very interesting terms, which are there in this particular editorial, which we have to keep in mind, which are very, very important from different exam perspective. So let's talk about this editorial and let's do the discussion. So fixing problems, unlocking India's growth potential. As you can understand from this article, they are talking about how this GST 2.0 is so awesome. Taxes are rationalized, 5 and 18% tax bracket. So, and government will be facing so much loss. But now we want to increase domestic consumption, which we have discussed earlier. Because of all the tariff which US is imposing, our exporters are impacted a lot. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to increase domestic consumption to offset the losses which these exporters will be facing. So that is one point which this editorial is talking about. But we have already talked about it, so we have to move beyond that. Plus, there are other terms. This whole thing, this GST 2.0, is reflecting collaborative federalism. So you have a collaborative or cooperative federalism. It's not competitive. So everyone has come together. Center is, ready to bear the losses to promote domestic consumption in a way to tackle US's policies as well. Cool. So again, you can read all these things, what items have been become cheaper, this and that. We are focused on the keywords here and how it will impact MSME, this and that. So lower rates benefit textile, handicrafts, and then there are some economic terms as well. See here, support for exporters and MSME. See this word. This is a word which concerns us from UPSC and other perspective. So what is this word? This word is inverted duty structure. What is the basic meaning of the term inverted duty structure? This we have to understand. If you already know it, awesome. You can post it in the comment section. What do you understand by inverted duty structure? What is the basic meaning of inverted duty structure? And again, feel free to do that. Inverted duty structure means, let's say you have some raw material. Let's say I'm making some textile products, you know, and then I have to buy some yarn. I have to buy some cotton threads. So yarn is taxed at 15%. On the other hand, the finished product is earning more tax as compared to the finished product, which you have to understand. So this is inverted duty structure. The raw material we have to pay more GST on raw material than the finished product. Government has corrected that because then the prices of finished goods become very huge, large, or much more when the raw materials are taxed more than the finished product. So you understood what is the basic meaning of inverted duty structure. So this is one keyword which we have to keep in mind. Then the other keyword is MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises. How it will be getting impacted, how it is supporting our economy. So again, two tax structure. Why I'm not talking about these things in detail? Because we have already had a, oh my god, again I'm buffering. Keyword is MSME, micro. Whenever you face some buffering, to tell me. So what we are discussing here, two tax structure, 5 and 18%, then you have 40% for selected goods, even cold drinks, energy drinks, all these things are under 40% tax bracket. Cool. So what will be the broader impact? It will boost consumption because the goods will be cheaper. It will empower MSME. And again, you can read this, I'm not reading it. You know these things. We have focused on some other things. Now here the challenges part. What will be the challenge? Government has said that it will bring 5 and 18% fine, but implementation, when they will be bringing it, whether there will be procedural delays or not. So those are the things which we have to keep in mind. Fine. Have a look at this. I'm not reading the article. Let's focus on the other term. MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises. In your GS mains paper, you read this particular term, micro, small and medium enterprises. GS3, inclusive growth, GS3, Indian economy. So earlier, the definition of micro, small and medium enterprises was based on the investment in goods and machinery. Now that thing has been changed. There has been an amendment in 2020, and now the micro, small and medium enterprises, they are defined on the basis of both investment as well as turnover. That point which we have to keep in mind. Micro, and you can see your link here. Turnover is 5 times the investment, micro, small and medium. So investment less than equal to 1 crore, turnover less than equal to 5 crore. Small, 10, 50, 50, 250. The more you look at it, the more you'll be remembering it. This is important. Many exams have already asked about these definitions, so they are actually important. Cool. And what is the contribution? 30% of GDP, employ over 11 crore people. Agriculture is the biggest employer. After that, MSMEs, 40-45% of India's export they account for. So the changes which has happened in GST, the reduction which has happened in GST rates, that will impact MSME in a much better manner. So it will have a trickle down effect. It will have an umbrella impact on Indian economy in a positive way, which is actually awesome. So now let's focus on the other part. MCQ 6. This is based on the previous article. Okay. So MCQ 6, Shripurna, Madhubala, and I think today we are facing some issues when it comes to connection. I'm very sorry for that. Yeah. So revisionist power in international relation refers to a country that what they do. Russia's revisionism we have talked about supports the existing global order, seeks to revise or overturn parts of existing global order. So who has given the answer? Shipurna, Madhubala, Rajneesh, they have given the answer. The answer is seek to revise or overturn parts of existing global order. B is the answer. Very good. MCQ 7. In the context of GST regime, an inverted duty structure refers to what? When exports are taxed at a higher rate than domestic sales, when the tax rate on finished goods is higher than that on raw materials, when the tax rate on raw materials is higher than that on finished goods. What is the answer? Shipurna has given the answer. So what is inverted duty structure? When the tax rate on raw material is higher than that on the finished goods. Cool. Next article, page number 6, alarming rise in cancer cases in Rajasthan. This is a case study for ethics, etc. They can ask you why this whole thing is happening. Cancer. What is cancer? Cancer is a scenario when the harmful cells in your body, they start multiplying, and there are cells in your body which our cells multiply, right? But then they don't know, oh my god, but then they know when to stop this division. But in the scenario of cancer, they will divide uncontrollably, they will not stop this division, and then they will go into adjoining areas or adjoining organs, and they will impact you in more ways than one. That is actually cancer, right? Shipuna, C is the answer. Inverted duty structure. The tax on raw material is more than the tax on the finished product. That is the basic rationale of inverted duty structure. So this alarming rise in cancer cases in Rajasthan, why this is happening, we have to understand that. And they have talked about this, how in Jaipur we have a lot of cases. Jaipur being the worst hit city. They can ask you in UPSC, they can ask you in any other PSCs also, why Jaipur is the worst hit, why Rajasthan is facing so many cancer patients, what is the reason behind it. So we can understand this from Rajasthan perspective. We can understand why Jaipur is the worst hit, because Jaipur is the capital. If you face any issue, you will go to the hospitals of Jaipur. So obviously they will have the maximum number of patients when you're talking from Rajasthan perspective. Now there are data. You can see here, they have talked about how many registered cases and this and that has happened. So why this is happening, and district-wide cases. Jaipur 2,837. We are not concerned with the numbers. We are concerned with Rajasthan. They have more cases, 134.57 cases, and it is more than the India's national average. Why it is happening? Lifestyle changes, or lifestyle, you can talk about sedentary lifestyle, but this is applicable for other states of the country as well. It's not like only in Rajasthan people have become sedentary and they are not doing anything. So it's applicable for other regions also. Then pesticide use, they're using a lot of pesticide, that also causes cancer. Then the third is, in women the cancer has increased, rising cases of breast and cervical cancer. If you have been to Rajasthan, you will realize women are in total attire, full clothes. That's awesome, but it's somewhat traditional in nature also. They don't go for too much detection, treatment, this and that, because it's the patriarchy element is somewhat higher in some parts of Rajasthan. I'm not saying it's not higher in other parts of the states or country, but hope you can understand where we are going with this. So that's why you have more cases, because the diagnosis when or the treatment or the detection part when it comes to women is lesser in Rajasthan. So you have to understand it from that perspective. And why Jaipur? Jaipur has maximum cases because this is the capital, and people will go to Jaipur when it comes to cancer. We have just understood what is cancer: uncontrollable division of your cell when they're not stopping, and then they're impacting your other organs as well. So again, a case study, do keep it in mind that in Rajasthan you have these cancer cases. Like when we talk about Northeast, there was a time when we used to talk about Northeastern states having higher number of cases of AIDS. There was a scenario, African countries they had, but that is not the case now. Similarly with Rajasthan, remember this particular case study, they are witnessing a larger number of cancer cases. People are still not sure why, but this is happening. They're just speculating this whole thing, patriarchal nature, this and that. But yes, this is there, and we have to keep it in mind. Now, MCQ 8. So with reference to MSMEs in India, micro, small and medium enterprises, consider the following statements. So Shripurna has given the answer. Again, if you go back to micro, small and medium enterprises, what we have discussed, there are two criteria: investment and turnover. Turnover is generally 5 times the investment. Earlier, the definition was based on investment only. Now, both are the criteria, investment as well as turnover. So that means first is wrong. If you eliminate one, you're getting the answer 8, 2 and 3 only. Even if you don't know anything about these two figures, you have no idea about the facts and figures, even then you'll be able to solve this particular question, you know. So MSME contributes nearly 30%, accounts for 40-45% of Indian export. Remember it. Multiple mains question, pre-question has been asked on them, so you have to remember them, and you can use it in your mains answer. So the answer is 8, 2 and 3 only. MCQ 9. So consider the following statements about I2U2. It consists of India, Israel, UAE, US. It is primarily a military security alliance, and it focuses on food security, renewable energy and infrastructure. What we have just discussed, when we have talked about Sashi Tharoor editorial, we have talked about I2U2, we have talked about IMEC. So Shipurna, Gajanan, and Madhubala, they have given the answer. So it consists of India, Israel, UAE, and US. That is correct. So first is correct. You eliminate B option. It is primarily military security alliance. We have just discussed. No, it focuses more on infrastructure, food security, renewable. It's not a military security alliance. We don't want to, you know, make enemies. We already have so many. So it's not military security. So second is wrong. If second is wrong, just eliminate second. You are getting the answer C. C is the answer, 1 and 3, right? It is not a military security alliance. Who has given the answer? Shipurna A. Everybody said A for 9. On 9, nobody has tried it yet. So 9 answer is A. Why Madhubala? Why Shipurna? Why the answer is A? Do you think it is a military security alliance? What we have just discussed. This is more about, cooperation in the field of infrastructure, food security. This is what we have. It is not a military security alliance. Even if it is, you cannot say it in publicly, but they have said it publicly. It's not a military security alliance. 9, see then, very good. Next article of the day, page 10. External Affairs Minister to join Brazil led BRICS virtual summit on US tariffs. So again, US has imposed tariff on us, US has imposed tariff on Brazil, so Brazil has called a virtual meeting. PM sir will not be joining it, as Jaishankar sir will be joining it, and they have to talk about all these tariffs. We have already discussed, BRICS earlier, and we will keep on discussing about it. So BRIC first meeting 2009 in Yekaterinburg, Russia. Yekaterinburg, Russia. Earlier it was BRIC. South Africa joined it in 2010. It became BRICS in 2010. Now, if I ask you right now, how many, no issues, Madhubala, it's fine. These are tricky questions. So if I ask you right now, how many countries are there total in BRICS? We know new countries have joined. So do we have 10 countries or 11 countries? There is so much confusion. I don't think I have ever seen people more confused than on this particular fact. How many countries are part of BRICS? Primed for security because they changed to other. No, it is not a security alliance. I2U2, it's mainly about cooperation in infrastructure, food security, etc. So I have a question for you people. How many countries are part of BRICS now? 10 countries, 11 countries. Then I will show you something, and you have to go with that official data, because there is confusion here. So they are having this particular talk. 2026, India will be heading the BRICS summit. So India will participate in a virtual BRICS summit. The current chairmanship is with Brazil. 2025, 2026 it will be with India. External Affairs Minister, again you can see here. And why they are meeting, the reason is people are speculating. Rishi is saying 10 countries. Okay, Rishi. So to discuss US tariff, and it is happening after SCO summit, this and that. Participation, Brazil has not yet confirmed how many of the 11 BRICS members will attend and at what level. So now there is confusion. There is confusion. We know BRICS, 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And after that, IIEEU. We had seen this mnemonic: I love you not, IIEEU. So what is IIEEU? So Iran, then Indonesia, then you have Egypt, Ethiopia. Do correct me if I'm wrong somewhere. And then you have UAE. So now it's only 10 countries. Which is the 11th country? Saudi Arabia. And there is confusion. Why there is confusion? Because some source will say 10, some source will say 11. Now let's see what official BRICS website says. So this is BRICS Brazil website. If you go to their website, see what they have said. And based on that only we have to put our rationale. So they are saying, the official website of BRICS Brazil 2025 is saying that it is a group formed by 11 countries. As we have just seen, BRICS plus IIEEU, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and UAE, and then Saudi Arabia. So according to them, Saudi Arabia is also one of their members. New Development Bank, 10 countries. So please remember, are you understanding where we are going with this? Why we are seeing this official website of Brazil? What is the reason behind it? Hope you are understanding where we are going with this. So they say they are a group of 11 countries, so you have to accept them and their rationale. Doesn't matter what other sources are saying. So 11 countries. Their official website is also saying the same. So hope there is no, again, but the doubt will remain, because if you solve different, test series, prelims test series, this and that, you will see that different sources will say different things. So let's see how many countries join for this virtual meeting. Kremlin, like US, is saying that they will participate, and India will chair BRICS next summit, like in 2026 summit. And the countries mnemonic IIEU, and the last one is Saudi Arabia rather. 11 countries. We have to remember them. And see, we are speculating whether they will be talking on tariffs or not, but yes, Brazil and India, they have faced a maximum amount of tariff, 50%. China, South Africa, 30%. And that's why many people believe, you can see Russia and Iran facing less tariff, but they already have so many sanctions. So they are virtually, US wants to make them bankrupt. So mainly people are saying that the talk will be on tariff. That is none of our concern. Hope you understood what is our concern. 2025 summit Brazil, next summit India. How many total countries are there? When was it formed? When the first summit happened? When did South Africa join? These are the things which are important. So let's solve MCQ 10 based on whatever we have read. Very good, Rishi. Which of the following is correct regarding the origin of BRICS? Do option elimination. It began as a grouping of Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa in 2006. South Africa was the last to join, turning BRIC. Brazil fancy facing also tariff 50%. Very good. Breezing. So Shipurna, Madhubala, Rishi, they have given the answer, and the answer is South Africa was the last to join, turning BRIC into BRICS in 2010. This is what we have studied. The answer is B. PYQ 11 asked by UPSC in 2040. Very good, Rajneesh. So Shipurna, Madhubala, Rishi, and Rajneesh gave the answer. So PYQ 11. With reference to grouping of countries known as BRICS, consider the following statements. This question you may have solved it multiple number of times. So what we have just discussed, BRIC was initially BRIC, 2009 first summit happened. Where did the first summit happen? It did not happen in Rio de Janeiro. It happened in Yekaterinburg in Russia. Yekaterinburg, oh my god, do see the spelling of Yekaterinburg. Yekaterinburg, Russia, 2009. So first is wrong. If first is wrong, two options are gone. You're left with B and D only. South Africa was the last to join. That is but obvious. So the answer is B, as stated by Rishi, Suparna, Rajneesh, Gajanan. Very good. B is the answer. MCQ 12. IMEC launched during the G20 summit in 2023 aims to connect what? India, Middle East, Europe, India, Africa, South America, South Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, Middle East, Central Asia, and it was launched in G20 summit in 2023. To remember that fact as well. So Rishi and Shiparna, they tried it. Cool. Think about it. MCQ 13. Which of the following best describes the relationship between CPCB and SPCBs? Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board. This also we have discussed earlier. Okay. Cool, Rishi. So Shiparna, Madhubala. Very good, Shipurna. So what is the relationship between CPCB and SPCBs? Think about it and answer it in the comment section. 12 and 13 we'll discuss on Monday. And as I've told you, like, share, subscribe. From Monday onwards, we'll meet at 7:30 a.m. every day. Sooner we complete Hindu analysis, better it is for us. So yes, like, share, subscribe, spread the word. I will need your word of mouth, and so that I can continue this series. You can join my Telegram channel, although I'm not very active there. You can post your score, 13 questions, 11 classwork, 2 homework, how many you got correct. And you can buy this Hindu analysis PDF at 199 per month. You can do the payment at 965030327327, 3257 rather, and you can send a message to me on the same number. You can also join my mentorship, as I have told you, and there is no time limit to it. Unlike Hindu analysis PDF, this is one-time payment, and in this Hindu analysis PDF is included. I'll be a mentor till the time you crack UPSC CSE. Doesn't matter which exam you are preparing for. It's basically for UPSC CSE, Civil Services exam. But I have students who are preparing for PSCs as well. So I'm helping them in any which way possible. Even if you're preparing for EPFO, etc., you can take my help in that. I will help you. And here, mentorship is everything. If I have material, I'll share it with you. If you have any mains answer you want me to check, I will do that. Anything and everything under the sun is under mentorship. So yeah, cool, cool, cool. You can also donate. So thank you everyone. Thank you Madhubala. Thank you Rishi. Thank you other people. I am going now, and I will see you people on Monday at 7:30 a.m. Take care. Be blessed. Tata. Bye bye.